Keep me under the umbrella.
Silly.
It's raining, it's pouring. Thank you, sweetheart.
Nobody expected anything unusual to happen that day. It felt like a normal moment on social media, the kind where people scroll, laugh at a few videos, maybe check messages, and move on. Nothing felt tense. Nothing felt heavy. It was just another day in the endless stream of posts and comments. Then the rumors started. First they were quiet. A few messages here. A few whispers there. People saying something didn't feel right. People saying they heard there was trouble between Claressa Shields and Papoose. It wasn't loud yet. It was more like a low hum in the background. Easy to ignore if you didn't want to listen. But the internet doesn't let things stay quiet for long. Someone went live and started talking. They said they had heard Claressa was angry. Not just annoyed. Angry in a way that made people pause and look up from their screens. They said she felt ignored. They said she felt pushed aside. They said she felt like she was losing control of something that mattered to her. And just like that, people leaned in. The way the story was told made it feel dramatic, almost like a scene from a movie. The speaker said Claressa wanted to confront Papoose. That she was tired of calling and not getting answers. That every time he went back to New York, where Remy Ma and his child were, he suddenly stopped picking up the phone. The idea spread fast. People started repeating it in comments. Screenshots of messages appeared. Short clips were shared with captions full of question marks and shocked faces. The rumor took on a life of its own, growing bigger every time someone told it in their own words. Some said Claressa felt embarrassed. Others said she felt betrayed. A few claimed she felt played. No one really knew what was true, but everyone had an opinion. Then the story took another turn. Someone suggested that this wasn't just about feelings. They said there might be money involved. That made people sit up even straighter. Because when emotions and money mix, things always get messy. The rumor went like this. Remy Ma had started building her own network. A channel where she could host shows, promote talent, and create her own space in the media world. People were saying it was doing well. That it was growing. That it was becoming a real business, not just a side project. And then someone claimed that boxing content had been added to the network. That's when Claressa's name came back into the conversation. Some people started saying this move wasn't random. They suggested that Remy and Papoose had talked about using the network to promote fighters. And if Claressa wanted to be featured, she might have to pay for that promotion just like anyone else. That idea spread quickly. People asked why a rapper and a media personality would suddenly care about boxing. They wondered if it was a business decision or something more personal. They asked if this was a way to stay connected to Claressa, while also benefiting financially. Again, nobody had proof. But the internet doesn't always wait for proof. As the story grew, people began to look at Claressa differently. They talked about her personality. Some said she was confident. Others said she came across as too proud. A few said her online presence made it hard for people to connect with her. They brought up her boxing matches. They talked about ticket sales. They compared past events that sold out to newer ones that, according to rumors, weren't moving as fast. Some claimed fans were turning away because they didn't like her attitude. Others said that wasn't fair, and that people were mixing sports with personal drama. The lines between fact and opinion blurred. Meanwhile, Papoose was being pulled in two directions in the story. On one side, people said he belonged with his wife and child. On the other, they said he was trying to build something new with Claressa. Some painted him as loyal. Others painted him as strategic. A few said he was simply trying to protect his own future, no matter which way things went. The more people talked, the more complicated it became. What started as a rumor about missed phone calls turned into a conversation about money, promotion, loyalty, and power. People weren't just asking who loved who anymore. They were asking who benefited from who. Social media pages picked up the story and ran with it. They reposted old clips of Claressa talking about her career. They shared videos of Remy promoting her network. They analyzed past interviews with Papoose, looking for hidden meanings that probably weren't there when the words were first spoken. Everything became a clue. Some fans felt sorry for Claressa. They said it must be hard to feel ignored, especially in such a public way. They said it must hurt to watch people speculate about your life without knowing what's really going on behind closed doors. Others felt frustrated with her. They said going online to vent or react only made things worse. They said it gave people more material to twist and turn into rumors. Then there were those who didn't take sides at all. They just watched. They scrolled. They shook their heads at how fast a private situation could become a public show. The conversation kept growing. People talked about Remy's network in more detail. They shared the description of the channel, how it aimed to spotlight athletes, tell inspiring stories, and show moments that mattered. Some praised her for building something new and taking control of her own platform. Others questioned her motives, wondering if every move had a hidden purpose. Once again, no one really knew. But that didn't stop the debate. The idea that Claressa might have to pay to be promoted on the network became a hot topic. Some said that was just business. If you want exposure, you invest. Others said it felt personal, like adding pressure to an already tense situation. And in the middle of all of this, Papoose remained the center point. People said he was making sure his wife was taken care of through the network. They said he was making sure he had a role to play, no matter how things turned out. Some even joked that he had a backup plan either way. But beneath the jokes, there was something serious. People were starting to see this as more than just celebrity drama. They saw it as a story about how relationships change when money, fame, and public attention get involved. About how love can start to feel like a business deal. About how every move can be questioned when millions of eyes are watching. Claressa's recent live video only added fuel to the fire. In that clip, she sounded frustrated. She said she was tired of the situation. She hinted that she wanted to confront Papoose directly. People took those words and ran with them, turning them into headlines and captions that made everything sound even more intense. Some said her anger came from being ignored. Others said it came from feeling used. A few said it came from realizing she might be part of a bigger plan she didn't agree to. No one knew for sure. What everyone did know was that the internet had locked onto the story, and it wasn't letting go. By now, the focus had shifted again. It wasn't just about what was happening between Claressa and Papoose. It was about Remy's growing platform. It was about how promotion works in the modern world. It was about who controls the spotlight and who has to pay to stand in it. Some people congratulated Remy for expanding her brand. They said building a network takes vision and effort. They said adding sports content was smart and could attract a new audience. Others saw it as shade. They felt the timing was too perfect to be a coincidence. They wondered if the move was meant to send a message, whether to Claressa or to the public. And so the questions kept piling up. Why now? Why boxing? Why this moment? At the same time, people started talking about Claressa's image. They said the more she reacted online, the more people turned against her. They said fans like confidence, but they don't always like what feels like arrogance. They said staying quiet might have worked better for her than jumping into the noise. But staying quiet isn't easy when you feel attacked. That's what made the situation feel so human beneath all the gossip. At its core, it wasn't just about platforms and promotion. It was about feelings, about wanting to be heard, about not wanting to feel replaced or ignored. As the day went on, comment sections filled with debates. Some people believed the rumors completely. Others called them nonsense. A few reminded everyone that none of them actually knew these people in real life. Still, the story kept moving. By the end of the night, it had turned into something bigger than a single rumor. It became a reflection of how fast the internet can take a small spark and turn it into a wildfire. How quickly people can build a full story out of pieces that don't quite fit together. And at the center of it all were three real people, living their real lives, while millions of strangers watched from behind screens.